Good evening, this is GCN English News Edition and you're watching with me, Ngoy Kim Kong Sai. First, the headlines. Sambit Patra holds hectic meetings to pick Manipur CM amid President's rule suspense. India must uphold human rights and end violence in Manipur, rights advocates say. Chandil Nagas rally against border fencing, FMR scrapping, Kuki Badi extends support. PM Modi arrives in Washington for a two-day visit to meet US President Donald Trump. Military junta in Myanmar bombs new Catholic cathedral. News in detail. Sambit Patra, the BJP leader in charge of Manipur, met Manipur Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla on Wednesday for the second time in less than 24 hours amid political uncertainty triggered by former Chief Minister Biren Singh's resignations on Sunday. Patra met the governor earlier on Tuesday with BJP State President A. Sarda Devi. They were also accompanied by State Education Minister D.S. Basanta Kumar Singh, MPF's Manipur Unit President Awangbo Nyumai and JDU MLA Nasir. The BJP leader also held a key meeting on Wednesday with party MLAs including State Consumer Affairs Minister Elsa Sindro and MLA Karam Siam. Siam Dina reports of a constitutional crisis in the state after the chief minister's resignation. He asserted that ongoing issues in the state will be resolved with the help of legislators and the BJP-led NDA government at the center. I don't know about the president's rule. I think the problem will be resolved by the center with the help of the legislatures. I think there is no constitutional crisis in Manipur, the BJP MLA said before meeting Patra. Siam laughed when asked about the name of the new chief minister and declined to comment further on the development. Let's see what happens, he said when asked about the expiry of the maximum 6-month interval between two consecutive sessions of the State Assembly. Congress MLA Tokchom Lokeswar questions a series of meetings held by the BJP and asks if it was really intended to solve the leadership crisis in the state. It is really unfortunate for the BJP leaders to be not able to select their own CM and convene the assembly sessions. What is the purpose of Patra's visit to the state? Has he come to break the state apart? Lokeswar asks. The Congress leader opined that Patra should have taken the lead in appointing a new chief minister for Manipur. His visit is to ensure that there is no assembly sessions and the issues of the state remain sidelined. So far, he has not made any comment either, said Lokeswar, who is also the former Speaker of Manipur Assembly. He also claimed that declaring the assembly sessions null and void has never been heard in any other state. If President's rule is imposed, the political scenario will change completely and the internal conflict within the BJP-led government will come under scrutiny as well, he added. The Manipur government has already declared the 7 sessions of the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly, which was set to commence on February 10 as null and void. The last sessions of the Assembly in the restive state concluded on August 12, 2024. Senior Supreme Court advocate Arun Chaudhuri said that the president rule is likely to be imposed in the state if the BJP is unable to pick a chief minister. There is no provisions between Article 174 to extend the gap between two assembly sessions beyond 6 months, he added. In Manipur, the assembly is a leave one. It is not under suspended animations or president's rule. It is mandatory to hold assembly sessions as per the Supreme Court order. Obviously, it will lead to a big constitutional crisis, he told PTI. Article 356 of the Constitution gives the president the power to impose this rule on a state on the advice of the Union Council of Ministers. Amnesty International called on Indian authorities to take immediate steps to end ongoing ethnic violence and ensure human rights protections in the conflict-torn state on Tuesday. The statement follows the resignations of Biren Singh as Chief Minister of Manipur. In a statement issued on Monday, Akar Batal, chair of the board at Amnesty International's India, emphasized that Singh's resignation provides an opportunity for authorities to break the cycle of violence and impunity that has plagued Manipur for nearly 2 years. The BJP-led governments at both the state and central levels have utterly failed to curb the violence, hold perpetrators accountable, or address the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the state, Patel said. Since May 2023, ethnic clashes between the Meitei and Kuki communities have left over 250 people dead and more than 60,000 displaced. Villages, businesses, and places of worship have been destroyed while vigilante groups continue to operate with impunity. Patel warned that the government's failure to prosecute those responsible for human rights violations risks fueling further atrocities. The resignation of Singh comes amid mounting political pressures, including opposition calls for his removal, loss of support from key NDA allies, and a Supreme Court order forensic inquiry into leaked audio tapes that allegedly link him to instigating ethnic violence. While Singh's leadership was widely criticized for his handling of the crisis, concerns remains over continued government inactions. Amnesty International has highlighted the role of Meitei vigilante groups such as Arambai Tingle, which have been accused of widespread human rights abuses, including sexual violence, abductions, and extrajudicial killings. The group members, reportedly armed with loaded weapons, have faced little to no legal consequences. The failure of law enforcement has further exacerbated the crisis. Reports indicate that police officers have often turned a blind eye to violence or actively discriminated against tribal communities seeking justice. Amnesty International has documented multiple cases in which victims of communal attacks were denied the right to file complaints. As Manipur awaits new leadership, human rights platforms are urging authorities to take immediate steps to restore law and order, ensure accountability, and prioritize reconciliation efforts. The government must act now to protect all communities, prosecute perpetrators, and end the culture of impunity, Patel stated. Thousands of Nagas from Chandil districts held a mass rally in Chandil district's headquarters, Chakpi, Karong, and Kapam against the Indian government's coercive constructions of border fencing and scrapping of the Free Movement Regime (FMR) along the Indo-Myanmar border. The rally also called for expediting the Indo-Naga peace negotiations. In the Chandil district headquarters, the rally began at Maha Union Government Higher Secondary School ground and ended at the DC office complex, where a memorandum was submitted to the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, through the Deputy Commissioners of Chandil and Nanda Kumar Singh IAS. In the memorandum, the Chandil Naga People's Organization (CNPO) and leaders of the Naga tribes Hoho stated that the Indo-Naga peace negotiations, a glimmer of hope for a peaceful resolutions, are being jeopardized by the government of India's decision to construct border fencing in our ancestral territories. These draconian measures has left us feeling betrayed, vulnerable, and apprehensive for our future, as it undermines the very foundations of our autonomy, territorial rights, and self-determinations, the memorandum added. The CNPO and tribe leaders also stated that the constructions of border fencings in our ancestral lands is a painful reminder of the historical injustices inflicted upon our people, as it erodes our sovereignty, threatens our existence, and undermines peace negotiations. The Naga leaders also expressed deep-seated sentiments regarding the impositions of the Free Movement Regime's FMR in our ancestral territories. These draconian measures constitute an egregious usurpation of our autonomy, cultural identity, and the indigenous way of life, imperiling our very existence and the sacred boon we share with our ancestral homelands, the memorandum stated. Through the memorandum, the CNPO, along with various Naga leaders of Chandil and Tingnopal, called for PM Modi's immediate interventions to suspend the border fencing constructions, repelling the scrap of the Free Movement Regime (FMR) in their ancestral homelands, as it constitutes a usurpation of our autonomy and indigenous ways of life, expediting the Indo-Naga peace talk and ensuring a peaceful and lasting resolutions. Under Tingnaupul 42 SC/ST, the rally was held from the three places, namely Gapam, Trishimi, and Aimul-Satu, and culminated at Lamrinko village in Jandil. A copy of the memorandum was also submitted to the Deputy Commissioners of Tingnaupul, Krishna Kumar, IAS2, the ADC of the district. In the Chakpi Karong, the rally was held from Tampi village Lamkai to public ground, Chakpi Karong. During the rally, in all the places, the Naga held a banner that reads, "Mass public rally protest against coercive constructions of border fencings and scrapping of FMR along Indo-Myanmar border. Today, we stand together to defend and safeguard our Naga ancestral land and people." The protesters held placards that read, "Break the fence, break the chains, Naga rights, human rights, fences divide, love unites, respect our roots, restore our rights, etc." Organized by CMPO, NSUC, and their units, along with the Naga Chief Associations Jandil and CAC. The thousands gathered raised slogans such as "No border fencing," "No scrapping of FMR," and "To expedite Naga peace talks." In addition to the leaders of the Hohos tribe, the rally was attended by UNC General Secretary Virayo Satsang, as well as representatives from the Naga Women's Wing, ANSAM, and other organizations. Following the call for total shutdown, Jandil, Chakpi Karong, and various Naga-dominated areas were all closed down with no movement of vehicles seen except for emergency purposes. The total shutdown was enforced mainly by student bodies of the district under the aegis of Naga Students Union Jandil. Meanwhile, the Kuki Chief Association's Jandil District Committee on Border Fencing has supported that mass rally and shutdown call by CMPO on the 12th of February 2025 to oppose the proposed constructions of the border fencing project along the Indo-Myanmar borders. The body stated that it vehemently opposes the move of central and state government's policy in trying to fence the border which cuts through villages, effectively dividing our ancestral homelands. This would not only disrupt the social and cultural fabric of our people, but also hinder traditional practices that have been integral to our way of life for generations. It would create unnecessary divisions among communities that have historically divided, lived in a harmony across the border, the body added. On the other hand, the Kuki Chief Association's Jandil District Committee on Border Fencing also supports the mass rally and shutdown call by CMPO on the 12th February 2025 to oppose the proposed constructions of border fencing project along the Indo-Myanmar borders. The Kuki Chief Association's Jandil District Committee vehemently opposed the move of central and state government's policy in trying to fence the border. Moreover, the fencing cuts through villages, effectively dividing our ancestral homelands. This would not only disrupt the social and cultural fabric of our people, but also hinder traditional practices that have been integral to our way of life for generations. It would create unnecessary divisions among the communities who have historically lived in harmony across the border, added the Chiefs Association. Manipur police arrested 6 militants belonging to different proscribed outfits from Imphal West and Kangching districts, police said on Thursday. 4 active cadres of the Ben Kanglei Pak Communist Party, PWG, namely Takilmayum Victor 23, Huidrong Vikas Singh 25, Oinam Nauta 19, and Awong Sijon 33 were apprehended from their camp at Kameng Sawal in Imphal West District on Wednesday. Police said aiding the arrested persons were involved in recent extortionist activities, including serving monetary demands and collections of money from general public, shops, stone crushers, government employees, and pharmacies located in and around Imphal area. 3.32 pistol loaded with 07 rounds, 2 9mm pistol loaded with 10 rounds, along with 113 donations carried and other articles were also recovered from their possessions. Police also arrested 1 active cadet of the BAM Pre-Pak PRO organizations, namely Pibam Dakeshwar Singh 51 from Singzame Okram Leka in Imphal West on Wednesday. He was involved in monetary demand to the general public in Singzame area by using one mobile phone given by one of his associates, Sanazawa from Singzame Okram Lekai, they said. Police arrested one active cadet of KCP City Mayday, namely Moirang Tim Gobin, 38, from Irumpal area in Kakching district. The arrestee was involved in extortions from general public of Kakching and Tobal districts. The Congress on Thursday said Article 174, which stipulates there cannot be more than a 6-month gap between two assembly sessions, has been violated in Manipur, and alleged that this is a deliberate contempt of the Constitution. Congress General Secretary in charge Communications Darren Ramesh said that breakdown of constitutional machinery in Manipur and the agony of the people of the state continues as they still await a visit by PM Narendra Modi, who goes everywhere but Manipur. Article 174 of the Constitution of India states, the governor shall from time to time summon the house or each house of the legislators of the state to meet at such time and place as he thinks fit, but 6 months shall not intervene between its last sitting in one session and the date appointed for its first sitting in the next sessions, Ramesh said on X. The governor of Manipur had convened the assembly sessions to begin on February 10, 2025, and a no-confidence motion submitted by the Congress was to be taken up, he pointed out. The CM resigned the previous night, and the session was later declared null and void, Ramesh noted. 6 months have now passed. Article 174 has clearly been violated. This is nothing but deliberate contempt of the Constitution, he said. It is, however, not surprising because way back on August 1, 2023 itself, the Supreme Court had observed that there has been an absolute breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state. The breakdown and the agony of the people of Manipur continues as they still await a visit by the PM, who goes everywhere but Manipur, Ramesh said. The Congress on Tuesday had asked why the Manipur government is violating the article by not summoning the Manipur Assembly for its constitutionally mandated sessions. His remarks come days after Ambiran Singh tendered his resignations as the chief minister. The Congress had termed Singh's resignations from the post of Manipur chief minister as belated and said people of the state were not awaiting a visit by our frequent flyer prime minister. More than 250 people have been killed and thousands rendered homeless since ethnic violence broke out in the state in May 2023. The Kulkizo Council KJC recently held a public meeting at the HTC Conference Hall in Moray, which commenced at 11:30 a.m. The event was moderated by Lynn Mate, Joint Secretary of the KJC, and featured an opening prayer led by Reverend K.K. Howe, Secretary of the Moray Pastor Fellowship. Key highlights of the meeting included a keynote address by Helene Tangtanglet and a report on the Council's activities presented by Ginza Walzang, spokespersons for the KJC. The meeting also saw participations from various organizations, including the Hill Tribe Council Moray, Kulki Chiefs Associations Moray, Kulki Women Union Moray Block, and KSO Moray Block. The event concluded with a floor discussions moderated by Chairman Helene Tangtanglet and Reverend Ngam Hao of the Moray Pastor Fellowship. This meeting is part of the KJC's efforts to unite the Kulkizo community and advocate for their rights and interests. Manipur police have registered an FIR at Porampat police stations in connections with the sale of activated SIM cards using fake identity papers and impersonations. Officials stated that these SIM cards are being misused by anti-social and underground elements to facilitate extortions and intimidate members of the general public. The case came to light during the investigations of a recent criminal matter, where it was discovered that SIM cards issued in the names of unsuspecting subscribers were being exploited by cages of an underground outfit for nefarious purposes. In several instances, the subscribers were completely unaware that SIM cards had been issued in their names and subsequently used to support illegal activities. Several raids have already been conducted as part of the ongoing investigations, and authorities confirmed that such operations will continue. In its term advisory, the police urged all mobile service providers to implement thorough periodic verification processes. Failure to comply with these protocols, they warn, will result in strict legal actions to prevent further misuse of SIM cards for criminal activities. The National Socialist Council of Nagalim NSCN-IM on February 12 asserted that the framework agreement should not be equated with the agreed positions signed between the Government of India and the Working Committee of Naga National Political Groups WC and MPGs. In a statement issued by its Ministry of Information and Publicity MIP on Wednesday, February 12, the NSCN-IM criticized the agreed positions, calling it a mere extension of Article 371A of the Indian Constitution, tactically crafted by Indian agencies. The NSCN-IM emphasized that the negotiations between the Indian government and the NNPGs had already been concluded on October 31, 2019, making it difficult to align the framework agreement with the agreed position. The group reiterated that the political insight demonstrated by 21 members of parliament and MPs in raising concerns over the Indo-Naga political talks has once again brought the framework agreement to the forefront. Referring to the historic agreement signed on August 3, 2015, the NSCN-IM highlighted how Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hailed it as a major breakthrough in resolving the longest-running insurgency in Southeast Asia. However, the group lamented the prolonged delay of over 27 years, citing concerns over the sincerity of the Indian government in honoring its commitment. Expressing gratitude to the 21 MPs seeking clarity on the status of the Indo-Naga political dialogue, the NSCN-IM stated that their interest should serve as a wake-up call for MP Modi, urging him to reaffirm his commitment to the framework agreement, which he had orchestrated in New Delhi in 2015. The NSCN-IM further underscored the unified stance of Naga political groups under the Forum for Naga Reconciliations (FNR), which had pledged to uphold the historical and political rights of the Nagas by recognizing the Simon Commissions of 1929, the Declarations of Naga Independence in 1947, and the Plebiscite of 1951. The group stressed that any attempt to compromise on these commitments under the Indian Constitution would be a betrayal of their vote before God. Additionally, the NSCN-IM accused certain Naga representatives in the Indian Parliament of undermining the Naga issue, citing an instance where Apok Zamir, in response to Swaras Kaushal's concern over the stalled Indo-Naga talks, dismissed the issues outright, thereby disregarding the aspirations of the Naga people. Warning of the geopolitical significance of Nagalim, the NSCN-IM urged the Indian government to send a clear message across the Northeast and ensure that the fragile situation does not escalate into turmoil. The group called for swift actions in taking the framework agreement to its logical conclusions, asserting that only a genuine and honorable resolutions can bring lasting peace to the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed at the Joint Base Andrews Air Base in Maryland, United States on Wednesday, local time for a two-day visit. He is on a U.S. visit at the invitation of President Donald Trump. After his arrival, PM Modi posted on X saying that landed in Washington, D.C. a short while ago, looking forward to meeting the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and building upon the India-USA comprehensive global strategic partnership. Our nations will keep working closely for the benefit of our people and for a better future for our planet. Vinay Mohan Kwatra, India's ambassador to the U.S. and other officials welcomed PM Modi at the airport. It is the first visit of the Prime Minister after the inauguration of Trump for the second term. During his meeting, PM Modi will hold a bilateral meeting with the U.S. President. A huge crowd of Indian diaspora was present to welcome PM Modi. After he landed, PM Modi departed for Blair House. PM Modi will be staying at the Blair House located at 1651 Pennsylvania Avenue, directly across the street from the White House. The historic guest house for dignitaries visiting the White House. Blair House has hosted presidents, royalty, and royal leaders, earning its nickname as the world's most exclusive hotel. Blair House, a luxurious 70,000 square foot extension of the White House, is known as a symbol of American hospitality and diplomacy, a place where relationships are forged and history is made. Before departing for his visit, PM Modi emphasized that his visit to the US would be an opportunity to build on the successions of collaborations in his first term and develop an agenda to further elevate and deepen the partnership between the two nations. In his departure statement, PM Modi stated, "Although this will be our first meeting following his historical electoral victory and inaugurations in January, I have a very warm recollections of working together in his first term in building a comprehensive global strategic partnership between India and the US. This visit will be an opportunity to build upon the successes of our collaborations in his first time and develop an agenda to further elevate and deepen our partnership, including in the areas of technology, trade, defense, energy, and supply chain resilience. We will work together for the mutual benefit of the people of our two countries and shape a better future for the world," he added. The ruling military regime in Myanmar bombed a newly designated Catholic cathedral earlier this month. The Sacred Heart of Jesus Church, located in Mindat, Jin State, was designated as a cathedral by Pope Francis on January 25th, just 2 weeks before it was bombed on February 6th. Report indicated that the bombing destroyed the cathedral roofs and blew out the windows, rendering the building unusable. Fortunately, the area had been evacuated in anticipation of the attack, and no deaths were reported. Jin State is the country's only Christian majority state, with about 85% of the population ascribing to the faith. Nearly 90% of Burma's overall population is Buddhist. A local priest told the media that they plan to rebuild. Speaking at an interactive dialogue in May 2024, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk spoke of the dire state of the human rights in Myanmar under the ruling military junta. Since taking power on February 1st, 2021, the junta has killed thousands of civilians and displaced an estimated 2.3 million more. Myanmar is in agonizing pain, Turk said in his statement, and the disintegration of human rights continues at breakneck speed. Continuing, he described junta military tactics such as beheadings, midnight bombings of homes, and other brutalities. "We are bearing witness to a country being suffocated by an illegitimate military regime. The junta is known to abduct children, forcing them to walk ahead of their troops through minefields. In many cases, their victims are members of ethnic or religious minority communities fighting back against the atrocities of a military that has waged a decades-long war of ethnic and religious cleansing." Representing an extremist interpretation of Buddhism, the Burmese military has a long history of violence against the people of Myanmar, including against ethnic and religious minorities like the Muslim-majority Rohingya and Christian-majority Chin. Responding to Turk, U.S. Ambassador Michelle Taylor joined his condemnations of the military's violence against civilians and highlighted the need for the international community to do more to impede its access to arms and financial resources, a long-standing priority of the U.S. in response to the situations. Unfortunately, the Burmese military enjoys consistent support from Russia and China, which continue to support it economically and militarily despite sweeping international sanctions. Despite this support, experts believe that the Burmese military is atrophying rapidly, with as few as 150,000 personnel remaining after the loss of about 21,000 true casualties or desertions since the 2021 coup. This number is significantly smaller than previous estimates of 3 lakh to 4 lakh and calls into question the junta's ability to sustain its nationwide military campaign, especially after a series of high-profile losses in recent months. Myanmar is a patchwork mosaic of ethnic and religious groups, though a strong majority of the population is ethnic Burman and even greater percentage is Buddhist. The communities that make up the remainder are well established and well organized, and for the most part predate the formations of the modern state by centuries. In many cases, Myanmar's ethnic minorities have taken on a distinct religious identity as well. About 20 to 30% of ethnic Karen are Christians, while other groups such as the Chin are more than 90% Christian. This overlap of ethnic and religious identity has created a volatile situation for believers. U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday, February 12, announced that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed to begin negotiations to end the war in Ukraine, following what he described as a lengthy and highly productive phone conversations. In a social media post on Wednesday, Trump detailed the discussions, saying the two leaders covered a range of topics, including Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, and the U.S. dollar. He also reflected on historical ties between the two nations, particularly their cooperation during World War II. But first, as we both agree, we want to stop the millions of deaths taking place in the war with Russia or Ukraine, Trump stated, adding that Putin even referenced his campaign motto, common sense. Trump said both sides would work closely together and had agreed to initiate negotiations immediately. He also stated that he planned to inform Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky of the conversations. According to Trump, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Michelle Waltz, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff would lead the negotiations. Millions of people have died in a war that would not have happened if I were president, but it did happen, so it must end. No more lives should be lost, he declared. The announcement follows a prisoner exchange in which Russia released American school teacher Mark Fogel after more than 3 years in detentions. The swap was also involved the release of Russian national Alexander Vinnik, a convicted cyber criminal, according to U.S. officials who spoke on conditions of anonymity. Following the call, the Kremlin confirmed that Putin invited Trump to Moscow for further discussions on Ukraine. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that two leaders also discussed broader U.S.-Russia relations, the Middle East, and the prisoner exchange. The Russian president invited the U.S. president to visit Moscow and expressed his readiness to receive American officials in Russia in those areas of mutual interest, including, of course, the topic of the Ukrainian settlement, Peskov was quoted as saying by the state news agency TASS. Peskov added that Putin and Trump agreed to maintain personal contact and arrange a face-to-face meeting, though no date or locations has been announced. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.